We're going to start with just pulling the card. You can see it, and that's going to guide you through your practice. And then after, we can read the book on what it says. And I'll lay them out in the front of the computer to guide you. And so for Liz, pulled this card and it says Thanatos. So just have a look at it. Is it? Yeah, it's kind of the way it's supposed to be. Have a look at it, and that's gonna be your card for the practice. And then I've got Colleen next in the screen. So this one's for you, Colleen. It's the ring. And just have a look at it and kind of see what you get from it. And that's there. And then Natalie. Ooh, cool. I like this. The Sustainer. So just have a peek and see kind of what comes to you. And then we'll pull one for Megan as well. Ooh, the Lover. I was on a call with my friend Dina today, and she pulled cards for us, and this is the one that she pulled for her. So, the Lover. And that's for Megan. And then one for Shane. That's Shane's The Fault Line. That's Shane's The Fault Line. There you go.
Thank you.
And then one for me. I got The Cave. And all I could think of is the angry vagina. And all I could think of is the angry vagina picture. Okay, so, and then, yeah. So we'll just come, and you can lay down or you can sit for meditation. We're going to start with meditation and then move into the practice, the yoga practice. And get nice and comfortable, however you choose to practice, by either sitting or laying down. And if you're sitting, roll your shoulders down your spine and rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. And if you're lying, push the back of your head into your mat, roll your shoulders down your spine. And allow your hands to fall away from your body. Start with the breath. Take nice deep breaths in, filling up your belly, filling up your chest. And then let them out. Start by noticing the breath. Notice how the breath feels coming in your nose or your mouth. How it feels coming out your nose or your mouth. And start to follow the breath as it comes in your nose or mouth, and into your body, into your chest, into your lungs. Notice as it comes into your lungs, what happens in the chest and the belly. Notice as you breathe in, the belly pushes out. The chest fills. And as you exhale, the belly comes in back towards the spine. The chest falls. Notice the other parts of your body as you breathe. Notice where your shoulders are. Notice where your hands are. Notice where your head is. Notice what parts of your body are in contact with the ground. And if while paying attention to your body, you've lost track of your breath, try to hold both of those simultaneously in your mind. Being aware of your breath and being aware of your body. And then start to become aware of the sounds. In general, there are so many sounds. The sounds you can hear through the microphone, the sounds that you can hear around you. So start to really pay attention to the sounds that are closest to you. What are they? Or what is it? Does it evoke any reaction or emotion in your body hearing this sound? Now that you've noticed the sounds that are closest to you, start to differentiate. What's a little bit further? And what's beyond that? And beyond that. Now hear all of the noises. Still being aware of your body and still being aware of your breath. And again, bring your attention back to the noises, back to your body, back to your breath. Let the noises fade. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And move your body a bit, rolling out your shoulders or whatever feels good. Stretch. And if you were lying down, please feel free to slowly make your way up to sitting. Coming onto your mat, sitting in an easy cross-legged position or sukhasana. And close your eyes. Again, roll your shoulders down your spine. And rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. And just wiggle a little bit, feeling your bum on the ground, feeling your body. And inhale and bring both of your arms up over your head and reach for the ceiling. Exhale, bring your left hand to the mat beside you. Lean over, reach to the side of the room. And just stay here and breathe. Feel the stretch on the right side of your body. Just waking up, stretching out. And inhale, come through center, and exhale to the other side. Breathe, stretch. Inhale through center, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And bring your right hand back behind you, right behind your spine, like a second spine. And bring your, did I say right hand or left hand?
Started with right.
Right hand behind you. And then your left hand to the outside of your left knee. And inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, twist. Thank you. And pull your belly button in towards your spine, engaging your abdomen, engaging your core. And on your next exhale, twist a bit deeper. Inhale, make your way back through center, and then exhale to the other side. Bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee and your left hand back behind you. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Again, start that twist from the base of your spine and then feel it coming all the way up with your head turning to look over your shoulder last. And pull your belly button in towards your spine, engaging the core, engaging your abs, and then twist a little bit deeper. inhale, come back through center. On your exhale, bring your hands to the mat in front of you and walk your hands away from you, folding forward. And breathe. Allow your head to hang and your shoulders to round. One more breath here. Walk your hands back towards your body. Then bring your hands behind you, just behind your hips, fingers pointing towards your body, and lift the chest like you're placing your heart on an altar. And if your knees come down to the ground while you're in the sitting position, you have the option to lift the hips up off the mat. And if they don't quite, then just stay with the chest lifted. And release back down. And then just switch the cross of your legs. Come back to sitting up nice and tall and bring your hands to the mat in front of you. Walk your hands away from you, fold forward. Breathe. Allow your head to hang and your shoulders to round. And then walk your hands back towards your body. Bring your hands back behind you, fingers pointing towards the body. Lift the chest. Option to stay here or lift the hips. Release the hips back down to the mat. Bring your hands to the mat in front of you and come up onto all fours. Plant your palms below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Untuck your toes. Spread the fingers wide and just take this moment right now. Toes are untucked. Push into the tops of your feet. And just notice when you push into the tops of the feet that the core engages. And then when you stop pushing, notice how easy it is to let the belly hang. So push into the tops of the feet. And then inhale, bring your belly towards the mat, look up at the ceiling. Exhale, push into your hands, arch your back, point the top of your head at the mat. And just start to flow with your breath, inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat. Really warming up and lubricating your spine. One more round. Now on your next breath, bring your spine to neutral. Walk your hands forward just a little bit. Tuck the toes under. And then lift your hips, straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Alternate the bend in your knees or walk out your dog, just warming up the backs of your legs. Bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, and walk your feet up towards your hands. Coming into a forward fold. Allow the head to hang and the shoulders to round. And breathe. Breathe into the backs of the legs. You have the option to keep your hands on the mat in front of you, or you can take a hold of opposite elbows. Release your hands and slowly start to roll up, just like a rag doll. Allow the arms and the head to hang. Take your time coming up. When you get to your shoulders, roll your shoulders down your spine. And your head comes up last. And just take a moment here to set up your foundation. Pay attention to your feet. Take all 10 of your toes and lift them up and spread them out wide. And then place your toes back down on the mat. And engage your calves and your shins. Engage the thighs. Engage your bum. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Lift the chest. And bring your arms alongside your body with your palms facing forward. Spread your fingers wide so you engage all of the muscles in your arms. Bring your chin so that it's parallel to the floor. Inhale, bring your arms up over your head. Reach for the ceiling. Exhale, fold at your hips and bring your hands to the mat in front of you. Inhale, look up halfway, plant your palms on your shins. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant your palms and step back to the top of a push-up. And stay here and breathe. Spread the fingers wide and just make sure the wrists are below the shoulders. And pull the heels up so they're above the balls of your feet. Pull your belly button in towards the spine and push the ground away from you, plank pose. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly lower down to the mat in one line. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders down your spine. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Start to flow with your breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Keep the toes untucked and your elbows in close to your body. And you have the option to lift your hands every time you come up, using just the strength of your back. One more round. Exhale down. Inhale, tuck your toes, and exhale, push up onto all fours, and then lift up to downward facing dog. And breathe. 5 deep breaths. And on your next inhale, bend your knees and look to the top of the mat. And hop, step, or walk your feet up to your hands. When you get there, exhale and forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms back out to the side and up to the ceiling, stand up. Exhale your hands down to the center of your chest. Again, inhale your arms up over your head. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, lift up cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath. Inhale, bring your left leg up into the air behind you. Exhale, step it through between your hands. And bring your back knee to the mat and untuck the toes. And then just bring your attention to your front leg, your left leg. Make sure your front knee is over your front ankle, so your shin is vertical. And that your back knee is behind your hip, not right below it. And then take your hands out wider than your mat and just sway from side to side. Really stretching in that right thigh, that right hip. And come back to center, framing the front foot with your hands. And just breathe, feel into that stretch. And then bend into the back knee and straighten out the front leg. Pull the toes up and pull the toes towards your nose and walk your hands back so they're below your shoulders. Inhale and lengthen your spine, and then exhale, fold a little deeper. Really breathe in into the back of the leg. Feel that stretch up your hamstrings. Feel free to let your head hang and your shoulders round. And bend back into the front knee, walk your hands back up. And then heel toe the foot over towards the right hand. Let the knee come down to the mat. So we're gonna make our way into pigeon pose. Take a look over your right shoulder and check your back leg. Make sure it's nice and straight behind you. And plant your palms in front of you. And inhale and grow nice and tall. So you can stay right here, or if it feels good on your exhale, fold forward. And breathe. Double check your alignment. So you want to be in the center of your pelvis, not leaning over to the left or the right, but like right in the center. And just breathe, settle in, feel the stretch. Get as comfortable as you can. And just notice what comes up for you in this posture. Are you able to really get into it and release tension? Or do you notice that you're more tense? The hips are a storehouse for emotion. Swadhisthana, or the sacral chakra, is located in our pelvis. We say tight hips spiritually are a want for control. Remember your breath. And when you're ready, lift your head, plant your palms, slowly coming back up. Take your time. Plant the palms, spread your fingers wide, tuck your back toes, and then slowly make your way back into downward facing dog. Take your time. When you get there, pedal out your feet, your hips. Couple options here. You can stay in downward facing dog. You can bend your knees and come into child's pose, or you have an option to warm up in your coldness and do a vinyasa here. Vinyasa is plank, chaturanga, cobra or up dog, and down dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up into the air behind you. And exhale, step it through between your hands. Bring your back knee to the mat. Untuck your toes. Double check the alignment on the right leg. Front knee over front ankle, shin vertical. Back knee behind your hip. Take your hands out wider than your mat and sway from side to side. Really starting to explore the left hip, the left thigh. And bring your hands back to frame your front foot. And bend into the back knee, straighten out the front leg. Hook the heel and pull the toes towards the nose, and then walk the hands below the shoulders. And bring the attention to the back of the right leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Allow your head to hang, your shoulders to round. Breathe. Susie, stop. Bend back into your front knee, walking your hands forward, and then heel toe the foot over towards the left hand. Allow the knee to come to the mat, making your way to pigeon on this side. Look over your left shoulder at your back leg, making sure it's nice and straight. Come into the center of the pelvis. Option to keep the hands planted here and stay up sitting nice and tall, or if it feels good to you, on your exhale, fold forward. Come into full pigeon, just noticing what happens for you on this side. Remember your breath. And if emotion comes up for you, just let it. Don't try to push it down. Any thoughts that come to you, just notice them. One more deep breath here. And slowly lift your head, plant your palms, tuck your back toes, and make your way back into downward facing dog. Walk out your hips and your ankles. And same options. You can stay in downward facing dog, you can make your way into child's pose, or you can vinyasa. Wherever you are, make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale and bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, hop, separate, walk your feet up to your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms out to the side, up to the ceiling. Exhale, your hands down to the center of your chest. Close your eyes. Breathe. Just feel the bottoms of your feet connected to the ground. And just imagine that if your feet were cars, where would you put the tires? And then feel into those 4 places. And sway from side to side and front to back. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your thumbs connected to your heart and feel the ground below you. Something I say almost every single yoga class is that no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what your support system is at home, you always have stable ground below you, here to help propel you forward on your path always. The difference between stumbling blocks and stepping stones is how you use them. Inhale, bring your arms up over your head and reach for the ceiling. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway, plant your palms on your shins. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, plant your palms, step back to the top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down, all the way down. Untuck your toes. Roll your shoulders down your spine. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Just flow with your breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more round. Exhale down. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, push up onto all fours. Continue to breathe at your own pace. Take your knees out as wide as your mat. Bring your big toes together. And then push your hips over your heels. Walk your hands out in front of you. Release your head down to the mat. And breathe. You have the option to stay right here in extended child's pose, or you can add a stretch here by lifting up and walking the hands over to the left. Stretch out the right side of the body. And if you chose to stretch out to the left, lift up and come over to the other side. Walk the hands over to the right. If you're stretching out, come back into center, walk the hands away just a little more. And then bend the elbows, walking the hands back towards your body, push up onto all fours. Bring the knees together and tuck the toes under. Ha ha ha. Reach back, make sure all 10 of your toes are included, and then sit back on your heels. So almost everybody hates this posture, and always let pain be your guide, except in this posture. It just hurts. And you're doing absolutely no damage. So allow the weight to sit on your heels and then plant your palms on your thighs and roll your shoulders down your spine. And always the option to like lift and take a little bit of the weight off, but here's really an opportunity to do mind over matter. Because there's no damage, but it hurts like hell. Know that all you're doing is good, so you're stretching out the plantar fascia of the bottom of your feet. And this will shrink due to the way that we live now with shoes and such, and can cause issues like fallen arches and plantar fasciitis. So this posture is prevention and treatment of both of those things. And it's just really good for your feet. So take a really deep breath here. Let it out. And then bring your hands back down onto the mat in front of you. And feel free to tap out the tops of your feet. And once you're done doing that, keep the toes untucked and then sit back on your heels. Funny, for me, this is the worst posture. This is way worse than the other one, but usually it's the opposite. So notice the stretch on the top of your feet and the front of your ankles. And you have the option to stay right here if this is enough, or you can bring your hands to the mat behind you and lift the knees up. And just breathe. Release the knees back down to the mat. And just bring the ankles out to the side and out in front of you. Pull the toes towards you. Wiggle out the ankles, whatever kind of feels good here. And then when you're ready, bring the soles of your feet to the mat, the knees bent, and lay down on your back, bringing your hips towards your heels. And when you get here, roll your shoulders down your spine, bring your arms alongside your body with your palms face down. Keep your back on the mat, keep your head on the mat, but bring your chin in towards your chest. So you're really stretching out the tops of your shoulders and the back of your neck. And then push your lower back into the mat. So the eventual goal here is to get the entirety of the spine flat on the floor. So we have two lordotic curves, the lower back and then the neck. And the neck is way more excessive than the lower back. So it's pretty easy to flatten out the lower back, but it's more difficult to flatten out the neck. So that's the eventual goal. It's not the goal right now. But you'll notice the more you practice, the lengthier these muscles get. So breathe. Feel the stretch. And then just release your head back to neutral, allowing as much of a curve as you want. This feels good. And walk your heels closer to your bum. And bring your arms alongside your body, still with your palms face down. And put the weight into your feet and lift your hips up into the air. Squeeze your bum, squeeze your lower back, push your feet down into the ground, engage your legs. Lift your toes up off the mat. And then just notice what your knees are doing. If they're falling open, pull them back in towards one another. An easy way to do this is just to pigeon toe the feet. So bring the heels out a little bit and the toes in towards one another. And this helps prevent the knees from falling open. But eventually we don't want to do that. We just want to engage the inner thighs, keeping the knees pulling towards one another. Squeeze the bum, lift up the hips. Breathe. Keep the bum engaged. They say yogis have flat bums because they never engage them. So no yoga flat bums in my classes. Really squeeze your bum cheeks. Engage the legs. One more breath here. Lift up just a little higher. And when you exhale, slowly release. Just rounding your spine, allowing it to come down towards the mat. Tailbone touches last. Breathe. Neutral spine. If you would like, bring your knees into your chest and hug them in. And bring your forehead up to touch your kneecaps, really squeezing your body and rounding your spine. Release your head back down to the mat. Release your feet back down to the mat. Bring your arms out to the side, shoulder height, palms face down. And let your knees fall over to the left. Remember your breath. Knees back up into center and let them fall to the other side. Knees back into center. I just offer you the opportunity to add in any posture or movement that you feel your body wants or needs in this moment, or even just the opportunity to come into happy baby. Just take the next minute to do whatever feels good for you. And then whenever you are ready, just make your way into your Shavasana. And once you get there, push the back of your head into your mat and roll your shoulders down your spine. And allow your hands to fall away from your body and your palms to face the ceiling. Take a really deep breath in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And then let it out. Just let go of your breath and allow your body to breathe itself. Take all of the thoughts that you have in your head right now and allow them to ooze out of the crown of your head onto your mat and away from you. Start to relax your body, beginning with the top of your head. Relax your forehead and feel your eyes grow wide. Feel your eyes sink into the back of your head. Relax your cheeks. Relax your jaw. Let the tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Relax your throat and your neck. Let any tension ooze out of the tops of your shoulders, onto your mat and away from you. Relax the muscles that run along your spine. Relax your arms, and your wrists, and your hands. Relax your chest and your abdomen, and let your hips be wide. Relax your thighs and your knees, and your shins, and your calves, and your ankles, and your feet. to ponder in your quiet is the reading of your cards. For Liz, Thanatos, or death. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation. But the true archetypal residence of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the end of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos, as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. For Natalie, the ring, the infinite, the wheel, the connection. The ring is an image of connectedness. Rather than viewing life as linear, as a series of progressive achievements, the ring challenges us to sense the cyclical, infinite nature of our world and experiences. Beginnings and endings fall by the wayside as we practice seeing ourselves as part of the cosmic circularity of creation. For this reason, it's no surprise a ring is worn on the finger to represent eternal love to surpass space, time, and worldly things. So much can be projected onto this archetypal image because it mimics the Earth's orbit around our great sun and the intimate bond between two lovers. It is the micro and the macro connected. This card calls us to deepen connection with self, other, and the world at large. Meanwhile, there may be a literal ring to adorn your finger. That wasn't for Natalie. The sustainer was Natalie. The sustainer, the peacemaker, the upholder, the preserver. The sustainer, the second archetype in the trio of existence, works behind the scenes tending to the tasks of life. They cultivate gardens, pay bills, keep the meals warm, and the mouths sweetly fed. The sustainer is at peace in the process of life, knowing there is no start or finish to humble, yet meaningful tasks. They have a natural inclination to nourish others, to archive, to preserve Earth's resources, to consider environmental impact, to see their role in the divine cycle of life. It's common for the sustainer to become overworked, leading to resentment. Their tasks aren't glamorous, and therefore the sustainer rarely receives the credit or attention. The sustainer longs to hold things in place so badly, especially relationships, that they resist necessary change. Take time with this archetype. It is within us all and needs our love. I believe Colleen was the ring and Megan was the lover. The lover, the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of our tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow emerging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake, with no expectations or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. Bring your awareness back to your breath and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And turn your head from side to side. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll from side to side. Eventually rolling all the way over onto your right side. Use your bicep as a pillow. Take a breath. Use the strength of your left hand to push yourself all the way up to sitting. When you get here, roll your shoulders down your spine. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs and take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to breathe at your own pace and bring your hands together at the center of your chest. Bow your head. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice this morning. From my heart to yours, namaste.